I'm live, it says. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. I'm getting started today. Actually, I'm not getting started today. I've already started. I have been working on figuring out what the heck I'm doing for a game jam I'm about to do. I also need to find my pen. Because I seem to have... I start to stream and I have no idea where my pen is. My drawing pen. It's not here. I'll talk while I try to locate my drawing pen. I can only go so far away. I think I might have left it in the kitchen. I did. I left it on the counter right next to the water. It's right here. Good morning, y'all. Or afternoon. I'm so used to doing this in the mornings that I just say good morning. It's 11. It's not morning. It's morning maybe in like Japan. Actually, I don't even know what time it is in Japan. Aren't they like a few hours ahead? It is thankfully not lagging today. I don't think. Yeah, it's not lagging. I fixed it. It was lagging so hard yesterday. Anyways, I was doing thumbnails today because I need to figure out what this city looks like. What's up, Myriad Arts? Good to see some people here. I noticed yesterday when I did it at like 8 a.m. ish. Nobody joined. I was like, damn, maybe 8 a.m. is not the time. I'm working on, if you remember this painting, oh, it's not going to focus on it unless it's like on my face. Anyways, there's this painting. Did some of it on my little pad, but I need to do some more thumbnails to actually figure out what this stuff looks like. So, let's do it. What's everyone up to today? Are you doing anything artsy? Maybe you work in art. Anyone work in art? Or just a purveyor of the arts? Alright, that was one thumbnail. Let's do a second. Where are we gonna do this? Maybe like the bridge. So we're standing, we're gonna see the road going under the bridge, as well as the side of this building because it's right next to the path. And this actually, you can see the peak. I don't know if the peak should be that tall though. Maybe it's a little bit shorter. Yeah, it's a little better. And then there was another house. It's like right here. Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon. Not morning. Good afternoon. This is a little village in the mountains. I should pull up the art I've done for it. I'll email this to myself. PNG. And I will mail. Sorry, I'm clicking around on my iPad. There we go. Let me go to my email. It's probably so messy right now. Yeah, I gotta clean this thing up. I am notorious for busy mailboxes. Did it go to my spam? Why would an email from myself go to my spam? Nope, nowhere. And then there's a bridge that goes curving over. this area here. Oh, I was sick last week. It was not fun. Hacking and coughing. I'm still congested too. I don't know why congestion just sucks so much. Temporarily become a mouth breather. There we go. It's hard because like I'll go on runs and I'm not sick anymore, but like on runs my nose will just start running. I have no idea why runs are the one thing that aggravate it so much, but they are. Oh, is it not scrolling? It's not. I'm doing good. I need to scroll the Instagram chat for some reason. It does that sometimes. It's like, I'm not updating for you. And then it doesn't show me the newest messages, so I have to scroll to the bottom every now and then. Although it looks like it's doing fine now. I know it's hard to tell what this is. It'll come together, don't worry. I promise you. This kind of just goes through here. This is a big arch in the distance. Is it still not updating? Nope. But yeah, I'm doing good. I just was a little slow to start today. Now it finally sends. Awesome. Oh, oops. Now I can get it. I'm just gonna drag this over here into my reference board. Failed to open image. About now. Nope. I gotta download it, it seems. Downloads. I'm not a huge fan of this song. So many downloads. There we go. That's what I wanted. So we're drawing this area right here. We're just doing two-tone thumbnails, not worrying too much about detail. Yeah, I'm gonna have to scroll the chat. Damn. If this music is not the vibe, let me know. Part of me feels like I should be playing like winter music, because the vibe is wintry. I'm gonna play winter music. It's too noisy. Skyrim winter. Right. Here we go. Perfect. Yeah, I know. I just read that. I scrolled down and had to see that. Damn, Instagram making you work, honestly. I think it's when I accidentally type something into the message box, it gets sticky, which is what happened. I found the dude who made this stuff, these castles, and like he's just a student. The dude literally made them and he's a student. He's an architecture student. I've downloaded this mod and it's been like one of the coolest mods I've ever installed. You can find his work. It's just the great city of Winterhold. Dude has been inspiring this entire city development project. You know, I don't think it's time for thumbnails, to be quite honest with you. It might be time to figure out for for final fi words are not working. It might be time to finally figure out what the house style actually is. There we go. Like the house style of this city. Cause like I have this draw over of the top, but like if you zoom in, like that's not very well articulated. It's just a blob of paint. Whereas like if you zoom into something like this, you have the edges. I like this shape here. That's a good shape. I like this initial house, but I like how this is almost using more of a let's see if it's letting me do it. It's like more of a point. Why is it not letting me paint? Like that. So part of me doesn't want to do just like a straight triangle. Part of me wants to do something more pointed. Like that. Maybe we should do a flat orthographic view from the front. Because this is too low. That's way too low. I think this gets the closest at it, but I do like the dog heads. I think the dog heads are a nice touch. That was recommended yesterday by someone. So like, what if we took these dog heads from this one and stuck them on to this one? Oops. Control E. I can just remember to Control E. Lasso. Control C, Control V, Control T, scale, shift, scale, and then Control E. There we go. I think that's the closest to the final house. We're almost going for like a gothic. We're going for a gothic Viking, which I have written here. Viking Gothic. I like this shape. That shape is almost like a... Let's see. Oh, I selected something. It goes up initially, out a little bit, and then in, and rounds it out at the top. I like that design. So what if we took this with the kind of, oopsie. Did I just, no. Yeah, what if we took that and applied it as like our main building design? Because it has that nice, unique arch look that you don't find in a lot of architecture. And even like it has the, I forget the name of what the stone is at the very top. It's a stone that essentially holds the entire roof together so it doesn't collapse on the window. I learned it in school, in architecture class, when we were learning how to do all this stuff. I like these thin stones like this. But then, what if we take a little bit of this design? So instead of just having straight window, like I think it's okay to have an open window a little bit. Like this. But then what if we also have something that utilizes these same curves? Like so. Like an inverse of the top. That's looking kind of cool. And it has, so the way that Gothic architecture works is everything is fluted. Everything has like a fractal layer. So like it'll go up one more layer and then have an inverse of this. Sort of like that. But then when this connects, it also connects with that. So then you have this sort of like cool spider webbing effect. I'm not too sure about this shape in here. This is the shape you get when you put the, maybe if we move it down a little bit. Like so. That looks cool. Viking Gothic. And then this breaks up. That is free to do whatever it wants. And then these have like just a sine curve here. But we almost have like, is it the tangent curve? I don't know. Something like that, mayhaps. No, maybe if we just keep it straight, like, let's copy this so we have a record of it. Then let's go in and actually get a new variation of this. So what this is doing is it's straight, slight curve, straight, sharp curve. So if we mimic that, we have a straight, slight curve, straight, sharp curve. But the straight on the bottom is fairly short. So then if we mimic that, short, slight curve, long, sharp curve. That is making a little bit of progress. Because with the initial one, it looks too gothic, and what we're trying to go for is the more straight-edged, almost, I don't want to say Art Deco, because it's definitely not Art Deco. But, like, even here, like, the artist who did this 3D model, it does get a little bit gothic, but it maintains the similar, like, straight, sharp curve, straight. But it mixes stuff, because historically, I think the city in Skyrim, like, he was diving into the lore pretty deep. It's been built upon a few times, so then you have the more, like, Romanesco, in the world it's imperial arches that are rounded more, and then you have the more, like, kind of what we're doing here, which is what I'm aiming for. And then also these really long windows that are making use of, like, this shape. And then just housing a window inside, like a slat. And then here it's using the pillars as slats for the windows. And it's just making like a triangle at the top. I do like this. You see how this goes out there? I really like that. So what we could do is we could incorporate a little bit of that outer curve right here. And then this is almost like Celtic. Feels like. I don't know. I really like Celtic designs because they have those like interlooping structures that can look really cool. And like this here, I don't know if this is a real tower. This might just, maybe it is a real tower. I don't know. AI is getting too good nowadays. I can't tell half the time. It might also be a 3D model, but it looks like a photo. This might be a real place. And if it is, you can see they have those regular arches. These are more, like rounded at the top almost. Like they're pointed. They're sharp. I think that is a good point. I do want to add one more like fluting structure off of it though. Like up here. Maybe it goes to a center. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then what we can do is add a little bit of framing around this so it has some 3D aspect. Like so. That almost looks alien though. Maybe if you only add the looping around the like, maybe it's just too thick. It might be too thick. Yeah, it's looking a little bit better. Slowly but surely. Thanks, Myriad. We want it to match also just like this style. So I think getting a round version in too would be smart. And what about this? This is pointed. This is very similar, but it's instead of having like a flat top, it subtly curves until it's a point. This is again is the round one. This is pointed with the circle. I do want to do the circle windows. And this here, this again is pointed. And again pointed. So I like what's happening here with the ooh, I'm blanking on the name. It's those porches you can walk on that are covered, but they're outside. In Japan, they're in gawas. What are they called in a portico? Are they porticos? They might be called porticos. I think they're called porticos. So one thing with concept art, when you're making like building concepts, you really start just like making the elements like this, and from those elements you build out to then make buildings, because you need a structural basis to build buildings. So like now that we have this arch, I could then imagine, okay, what would a bigger version of that arch look like in the context of a portico, if we wanted a portico. I also really like this. Like these windows, like what would happen if we extended these so that it was just the point? It would probably be something like this, right? Because if you extend this down, it just goes down and it looks pointy. So let's solve for one of our buildings. Let's pretend one of our buildings in our concept, very rough concept, needs some solving. How are we going to solve it? Which one should we do? I kind of like this one up here because it gives us a lot to work with. All right. We're going to draw over this. I'm probably going to change the scale of it a bit too. I'm just moving this over here so I can keep track of what I've worked on. Layers management was never my specialty. That's why I don't really work with a lot of layers. I just get annoyed. I'm like, why are there so many layers? Alright, we're starting with very simple slope up. So we're going to assume that part of it is covered. I liked what I had going in this sketch here, how it goes out a bit. So we're going to put this going out a bit, like so. And we're going to do that for both sides. We're going to pretend this building in front here is not actually there. And I think I got the perspective wrong. Alright, and let's also pretend like it's a flat face. So one thing I liked in the reference was like how these buildings have a flat face, really. They're made out of stone. Again, flat. I mean, you have some accents that stick out, but it's a good like starting basis. This is like the overhang. And then some of these buildings don't have any toppers. Like they just have a slight curve to them. I mean, they're covered. These ones are not as covered in snow. For this, I'm imagining it's very, very deep in the mountainside, so Like we can almost imagine like a layer of snow at the top. But one thing I was gonna do was the double layered top, which I don't actually have any reference for because I don't think it exists in architecture because it wouldn't really make sense. But essentially you have like one layer of roof that is so high, or high enough, and then you have another layer of roof that goes slightly above it. A way to think about it would be like, let's say this is your roof. Now imagine you vaulted another one like a foot above that, and then added a bunch of small windows along it. Like so. That's kind of what I'm imagining. I'm gonna go here for like another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm gonna head out and make some videos, and also start seeing how feasible this is to turn it into a game. There's a game jam coming up in like 4 days that I'm gonna be doing, so I need to like see like, okay, yeah, I can turn this into a game world. I don't even know what sort of game it will be though, to be quite honest. I wanted it to be like a PvE MOBA, like a League of Legends PvE game. But I don't know how that would take place in a town, unless if the town is like where you buy stuff in between. Get little quests. Maybe it could be like a mystery game. Where you have the basic mechanics of a MOBA and have to like beat people in the city. Defend your city from attackers. Could be the precursor of this other game that I'm thinking about working on. Other thing was I wanted it to go down further than this roof. My camera's wobbling a bit. I hate it when I drink water and it goes down my air pipe instead of my stomach pipe. That's what just happened. I'm watching the replay of it right now. Dude, that was so funny. Oh my gosh. The stream lags behind a little bit. So I got to watch the replay of that. That was wild. I should be working a little bit quicker. I want to get this done in time. Not what I wanted. This is much better. Alright, good basis. I think honestly having like a central thing coming out could make a lot of sense. If it's connected, like right here. And then like rounded along the edges. Like so. Yo, what's up? How's it going? D-Pack. I don't know how to say the middle. The X is throwing me off. Demon? D-Pack Demon Arts? That sounds cool if it is pronounced demon. And I want to say I'm a master. I'm just a student of the masters. Always a student. That's kind of the realization I had pretty recently, is like I get better at art. The best way to get better at art is to maintain an opinion of yourself that you're always learning. You're always a student. Before me, there were so many masters and so many greats. Heck, Rembrandt, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Kim Jong-il. There's so many fantastic artists who came before me. I have so much to learn before I can call myself an artist in my head, or a master in my head. I was actually talking with my dad this morning about that. I was talking with him, though, more so on the context of how, as I've gotten better at art, I used to get portfolio reviews, and I remember getting my portfolio torn apart by like these people in the industry and telling me why it wasn't good and like how I'd need to change my style and the way I did my foundational skills. And like I looked back on my art portfolio like 4 or 5 years ago, and like in the context of what I know now, it's not actually that bad. It's not horrible. Like I think all I really needed to do to get a job was focus my work and again, like learn fundamentals, but there's a lot of art styles that just neglect fundamentals and they're still great. I think what really need to behind art in order for it to be successful is heart, passion, emotion versus like hard skills. Hard skills are helpful, but I also think hard skills gatekeep a lot of creativity, which frustrates me. Like I know the portfolio reviewers were trying to help me when I was younger, but I also think they misled me a little bit from making art that I really wanted to make. I had one portfolio reviewer that honestly was a very, very good artist and gave me great advice. He's like, make the art you want to make and just like keep doing it and you'll get better naturally. I wish he told me to focus more maybe. But like in the context of becoming a great artist, I don't think you get there solely on critique. I've been drawing today probably for an hour, but I've been streaming for 30 minutes. I've been drawing professionally since like 2018, but that includes my time as a student as well. Like a lot of my time as a student. I just started doing Fiverr. Do you want to see my old stuff? Like my old stuff from the high school? I'll show you if I can find it. Okay, this is, I don't know what date this is. This is when I downloaded it. So it's not going to show like the date I made it, unfortunately. I think I made these in like 2020 or 2019. I did Minecraft logos. They're not horrible either. Like in a style, Minecraft style, like it's not horrendous. Oops. I made that when I was like 18. Like in a Minecraft illustration style, that works. I remember I showed it to a game developer artist though, and they're like, yeah, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna get a job with that. Dude, I was making money with that though, honestly. I think I made like $1,000 doing all these Minecraft logos. Because I was charging like $20 a pop. Which like $20 for this stuff is crazy. I should have been charging way more. This one was good, I remember. Westocia. These were all for Minecraft servers. Like, yeah, I don't have fundamentals. I'm not really like figuring out what stuff looks like. But for a Minecraft logo, I don't think it matters that much. Whereas like now, obviously, doing concept art, you do need fundamentals if you're doing 3D concept art for like a 3D game that's semi-realistic, even if it is stylized a little bit. But fundamentals become less important the more stylized you get. I don't think you need fundamentals to make 8-bit pixel art, unless if it's painterly. You need pixel art fundamentals. But like, I don't know if you know the art of the Byzantine era, when the Roman Empire became the Byzantine Empire, briefly. Dude, that art from like a foundational standpoint is horrendous. They got anatomy wrong, they got perspective wrong, they got color theory wrong. But like those mosaics especially are regarded as some of the best art in history. because it was stylized. Also, I have to scroll Instagram. What is one thing you wish you knew when you were first starting out in the art industry? Um, One thing. There's so many things. One thing though. One thing. One thing I wish I knew when starting out in the art industry. I wish I knew patience. It took a long time to get good at art. A long time. It's still taking a long time. I might be able to find it. Let me see if I can find it. One of my teachers shared me this graph. Let me see if I can find it. Oh boy. It's in the old class. Ah, I found it. This is from a concept artist on Fortnite actually, as well as Epic Games. And also he's working on League now. He sent this to us. Art is a cycle. Sometimes you draw really well, but sometimes you feel like you can't draw at all. In reality, you are always slowly improving. It's just a cycle of seeing versus drawing that makes you think you are doing worse. Understanding how this works can help an artist power through art blocks, for you simply improving your ability to see and not get too cocky during art highs. So essentially, the yellow is your skill at seeing or evaluating art, your ability to discern what is good art. And the blue is skill at making art. And the idea is that as we improve as artists, we go through these periods where we improve rapidly in our skill, but our perception of art flatlines because we start making art we deem as like really good. And then as our skills start flatlining, we start looking at more art and we realize, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. And then your perception of how good art is made gets too high compared to your ability. And then you're playing catch up. And it goes back and forth. I think that's one thing I wish I knew when I first started getting into the art industry. It was how long this process takes as well. And it's a cycle. Like, I feel like I'm at a point right now where I'm like right here. Like I'm getting better pretty quickly. But I don't think, or maybe I'm like here. It's one of these two. One of the things where I'm either improving quickly or my vision of what is good art is improving quickly. I don't know if that's a good explanation, but it is kind of, it's been on my mind since he sent that to us. Just because it's like so true. Art takes so long. It's like any skill. I think it's also worth noting that in general too, like, I think I wish I knew more about how competitive it would be too, because art is pretty competitive. There's a lot of people who want to be artists, and like it's easy to say like, oh, I'll be the one, but if you don't follow that up with I'm gonna put into the work, someone else will. So I wish I was told that too. The fact that I can't just wish I was an artist and make money doing it. It really is a bit of a Hunger Gamey sort of competition, which I hate to say. But bro, there are a lot of fantastic artists out there who are willing to stay up all night drawing just to get their portfolio to match a certain studios and get hired. Like, I don't know if I'm willing to stay up all night. One of my mentors, Josh Cow, told me when he was younger, he would literally stay up all night making art just so he could like add one more piece to his portfolio by the end of the week. Which I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that. I want to sleep. I love sleep so much. But to each their own, right? Like, the fact that I'm not willing to do that means I probably won't be working at Riot anytime soon. Whereas, like, I have a friend who put in hours and hours of work in splash art, and now he's a splash artist at Riot. But he worked very hard for that. He worked very hard. So at that point, I'm like, okay, yeah, go for it. Pop off. I want you to win because you are obviously wanting to win yourself. Have realistic expectations. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Don't expect to win just because you want to win. But also, there's another thing that goes along with that. You have this life. Why not go for gold? There's no reason not to. You could be average your entire existence and it would be fine. And you'd live a good life probably. But why settle for that? Why not try to be the best you can be every day? Be the best artist. Make amazing games and concepts and live stream. Gosh, I don't live stream enough. There's so many days where I'm like, I don't want to live stream today. And then I start live streaming and I'm like, I don't know why I was freaking out so much about it. I should have just done it. It's fun. It's nice talking with people. So this is going to connect with this. And form like a cool little thing. Sorry I lectured you all. Sometimes I do that. And then my fiance is like, Pierce, stop. And I'm like, oh, sorry. It happens. It looks like this is going in because the perspective is not lining up with much better. Bam. It's coming together. Let's see what it looks like without this background thing. This will be good practice too for my job because I have to do a lot of concepts like this at work and then I have to make them in 3D, so it'll be very good practice. Also a fantastic portfolio piece if I can get enough concepts in there. I do want this to cut across. I'm unsure about the middle. No, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. Oh wait, it would be cut across from here to here. There we go. Gotta scroll the chat. I always forget that. Would you live here? I'd live here. I'd live here so fast. This should go down more though. Maybe it should be like... It's supposed to be an overhang. There we go, it's a little better. And then what do we do with the windows? I like how these roofs come down. I kind of want it to be taller. Like, this is a very short building. What if we just made it taller? That's a little better. And then what we can do is we can just end the slope right there. Right. That's a good base. We can build off of that. Do some variations. Oh, I know what we should do. That would actually look quite nice. Is do some, like, pull this out a little bit. Granted, I think it's gonna go down. Bam. I forgot I had tea. Where did I put the tea? Yo, what's up, Soyama SP? Dude, that's a wild GIF, whatever you want to call it. My tea is cold. I forgot about it for far too long. This is too thick. The line is too thick. Just like that GIF. Ha! Sorry. It is slowly coming together. This roof needs a bit of a slope out because if there's snow on it. Haha. Very funny. There we go. And then what we could do... This one had a ledge underneath the window to support it. So I'm curious, like, what if we just took this window over here? Copy paste. And then dragged it, made it small. And then changed the perspective a tad. I like that. Flat against the wall. And then what we also could do a little cheat code if you don't mind. Check this out. This is conceptarthacks.com. Oh, wrong layer. Again, layer management is not my specialty. Some concept artists just rely on layers, and I don't know. I don't know how to do it, man. I'd rather just use one layer and rock out like a piece of paper. That's one layer. And then, oops, merge with layer below. And then what we can do is we can do a ledge here. Because I feel like a ledge... And then in the actual 3D model, what we can do is add a little bit of glow behind these windows to make it stand out a little bit. Thank you, Lunar Lifter. That is a great name, by the way. Lunar Lifter. Wow. Art. Let me merge this down. Ugh. What is happening? I think it's because I have to merge down with this one. Yeah. And then this goes all the way across, right to there. You know, this looks a little bit too generic. Like, it's made out of blocks. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be recessed in, you know? I feel like it should just stick out. Like, I like how this is literally just stuck out into the elements. How back? Ah, perfect. It goes back far enough. Alright. The beauty of the back tool. Undo this, undo that. I'm going to let the bottom part stay in, but this top part here, this top part's only going to, it's going to stick out all the way. Bottom part will be recessed, top part will not. Yo, what's up? Fushi ID. I like it being flat, but I almost feel like the windows on the front should be closer to, say, this. I like how varied this is. Like, it's reusing these two assets here. Like, you have this one and you have this one. But they're two different things. I'm probably going to end stream here soon because I'm approaching an hour. Which is crazy. Like, this is as far as I've gotten in an hour, bro. Come on. It's a good basis, though. I've been tinkering with these ideas for the past few days. It feels good to finally start getting them a little bit. I'm looking at my sketchbook because I was sketching down the ideas the other day. Like this one. I don't know if you can see that. This one was a little too generic European. I'm gonna keep working on this, but I think I'm gonna end stream so I can listen to an audiobook. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. Oh, Indonesia, damn. That was very far away from me. I'm in Seattle. The great old Seattle, Washington. It's where the Space Needle is, if you know what that is. I should visit Indonesia, though. I've heard it's a great place. Very beautiful. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember to go outside. drink water, and get some exercise because those things are really good for your brain. And if you've just been scrolling all day, you should definitely get some movement. The Notan first? Notan. Noatan. The Notan. I can show you what I drew first. I initially started with this. And then I also... The first sketch I had of this was this. But this was after it was simmering in my head a bit. It's not going to focus because it doesn't like to. It's got that AI autofocus. Yeah. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, if I can overcome the initial I don't want to stream emotion. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to end it this time. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow, if all